Welcome to JC Connect. In the previous class, we were discussing about some of the terminologies and some of the relations uh, with respect to the cement to sand ratios and lime to sand ratios and cement lime sand mortars. So when it is in dry conditions, how much it is going to weigh? For example, in terms of volume, uh, calculating dry and wet, what will be the relation that we were discussing. So we also discussed about some of the terminologies like lump sum, what exactly the LS stands for, and we also discussed the work charge establishment about the labor part. Uh, so then we'll move on to the cement concrete relations. So normally uh, the cement concrete relation, that is 154 cubic feet of dry, that is cement concrete CC. Now that will weigh 100 CFT of wet, 100 CFT of wet. Why I'm giving this relation is these are very important uh, as the examination point of view, or sometimes when you're solving the problems, these are definitely going to um, help. So this is the first one. Then for brickwork, whenever you are discussing about the brickwork, so 100 cubic feet of brick masonry. So when you are taking it, so that will be bricks of 1350, um, dry mortar 30, then wet mortar of 25 cubic feet. So then 100 square feet surface area, we are using brick on bed. So then normally bricks will be of 360, then mortars will be of 9 cubic feet. So then 100 square feet surface area using bricks on edges. So if you the number of bricks, that is 540. So mortar of 130. Of course, this is whatever bricks, these are in standard dimensions. Then uh, pointing per 100 square feet area. Um, Suppose 100 square feet area, if you are pointing, then which are, for example, if ingredients are 1:1 ratio, 1:2 ratio, 1:3 ratio. So then, of course, these ratios are cement to sand ratio. Then we require 8 to 8 uh, ratios, means 8 cubic feet of uh, the cement is required, 8 cubic feet of sand is required, then 5 cubic feet of, if you are going with 1:2, then 5 cubic feet of uh, your cement is required, then 10 cubic feet of sand is required. Because if you are going for so 1:3, that is this things we have to follow. That is 3.8 cubic feet of cement is required, then sand of 11.4 cubic feet it is required. Then if it is earthwork, then assume the labor of one man working for 8 hours per day with lift up to 1 feet or less. Then how much normally he is going to excavate? So then medium soil 75 to 100 cubic feet, then hard and stiff soil 50 to 75, rocky it will be 25 to 30 cubic feet. So of course these are some of the standard values. If they are not given, just assume it as it is. I already say that 10 to 10% deviation always it will be there. Uh, Assume that okay, 1:1 ratio. If sometimes it will come 7.5, 7.8, But these are all based on some of the mixed design. Whenever you are doing the mixed design, these are going to definitely, it's going to help. So then for bitumen, um, of course, bitumen for 100 square feet of dam proof course, that is DPC, first coat, normally it will weigh 15 kg. Bitumen of for 100 square feet of DPC second coat, if you are putting it, so you requires only 10 kg of bitumen. So then for cement, normally one bag cement, this is standards. Of course, it will weigh 50 kg. And what will be the volume? This is very important. Many of you know one bag it will weigh 50 kg. But if I ask in other way, that is how much volume it is going to give, we can say it is 1.25 cubic feet. It will give 1.25 cubic feet. Then uh, RCC, um, of course, you already know it whatever the specific weights uh, uh, of the RCC, uh, that the dimensions are LBS for cubic feet. Of course, these conversions are required, but don't put it in LBS per cubic feet. You convert this into our SI system, then you prefer it. So then timber, I am giving in feet only. Most of the time we'll follow the feet, but if you see our IS codes, IS codes, most of the things are in SI systems. But normally we'll use during our day-to-day life, we'll use this. But whenever you are giving, you follow the IS code only. IS codes are in sometimes meter, Newton, kg. So like that it will be there. You follow better that one only. Always it will be in if you are going for MPa, that is Newton per mm square. So like that pressure it will be there. So better to follow that one only. When timber comes, the timber of 100 square feet of paneled doors and windows. So normally it will be standards 30 cubic feet it will give. Then timbers of 100 square feet of glazed windows and ventilators. So it will be 8 cubic feet. So here you have to assume standard thickness of 2 inches. You can assume. Then whitewash. So lime of 100 square feet of whitewash, one coat. So normally it has to give one coat. It has to give 1 kg. So then we'll move on to, of course, we'll not give that much stress on that, but still some of the terminology like 1 kg of cement, 50 kg in terms of volume, how much it will give. So that much it is, some of the information is required, but better to follow in SI systems. Some of the terminologies, you already know some of the things. We'll move a little bit fast from here. Um, So whatever the report of the brief informed vote project, it should consist of the following. If any of the reports, if you are preparing, it requires the brief history, the necessity and feasibility of the project, selection of site, survey, brief description of work, so nature of soil, basis of design calculations, so arrangements for this we already discussed, but some of the information, what the report consists of, that we have to see. Then arrangements of water supply and sanitation and electrical installations, roads and drains, roads and drains. Then temporary accommodations for staff, laborers, how exactly it will be done, and what kind of type of excavation you are doing it. Then total cost and how to be financed. So return or revenue income, how much our revenue, that is expenditures versus benefit. Then the rent statement, time of execution, that is also required. Then this terminology we should always know. This we are not discussed. What is subhead items of the work? The subhead items of the work, it includes the earthwork, concrete work, brickwork. Under each subhead, there are different items of the works. So means normally you have whole projects will be there. In that subhead of the work, it involves, for example, excavation, concreting. These are all subhead. In bit other than again, uh, in that again you have some of the items will be there. So, uh, for example, excavation, whether it is uh, cutting or filling, like that, some of the items it will be there. Then sub work. Sub work stands for large project. It consists of small buildings. The detailed estimate of each sub work is prepared separately. See, whatever the work will, it will be there. So each work, for example, um, construction of wall, this is different. Then, um, for example, if you normally will use it for the large projects, for small projects normally will not use it. Then, for example, flooring, again, it's kind of work. So you divide the whole project into separate sub work and give it. Then scheduled SR you already know. Then administrative sanction and approval. I already discussed what exactly the administrative sanction, how exactly the flow is going to happen in the first class, and how exactly it will be done for each of the projects. So it is followed by the starting from the plan approval to till administrative approval, till then technical approval, then till tendering process that I have given the flow chart. Then expenditure sanctions. So it represents allotment of money to meet the expenditure. So it is usually accorded by finance department. So then technical sanction. So it is sanction that I already explained. It is a sanction of the detailed estimate and the design calculations, quantity of work, etc. Uh, it is given by the technical department. Normally, we have the departments like executive engineer or whether it is the superintendent engineers, SC office in AW office or E office. So they are the authority for the technical sanctions. Then quantity survey, it means that estimating the quantity that I already explained. Plinth area. So what exactly the, because normally we'll use it, these terminologies, whenever we'll start solving the problems. So plinth area, it is the build up covered area of the building measured at floor level. It will be floor level of any story of taking external dimensions of the building at the first floor. So then floor area. So it is obtained after deducting the area of the walls from the plinth area of the building. This you already know. So it should include doors and other openings, intermediate pillars and supports. So then circulation area. So it is the floor of veranda, passages, corridors, balconies, staircases, lifts, etc., which are used for the movements of the persons using the buildings. So it is further classified into horizontal and vertical circulation area. So then carpet area. So it is useful area of the building. Uh, so it is determined after deducting the circulation area, the sanitary accommodations, kitchen, pantry stores, uh, for office buildings, approximately 60% to 75% of the plinth area. Even for residential buildings, approximately 50 to 65% of the plinth area will be considered. Normally, if it is not there, so, so it will be, what we can do is that these two, if nothing is given, if you are what I explained in the first class, that is rough estimate. Whenever you are preparing any of the rough estimate, so what you can do is that you can, if nothing is available or during the plan, you can assume these values for office buildings, normally 60 to 75% of the plinth area. Then for residential building, approximately it is 50 to 65% of the plinth area will be considered. So then site plan, this plan showing the orientation of the building, then boundaries of the land, positions of the road, drains, sewer lines, water pipelines, and adjoining plots of the lands. So then north direction is also shown in one of the corner of the site. Most of the time, we'll use the common word called plan, but we have to use it specifically, like whether it is a site plan, whether it's a layout plan, or whether it's an index plan. So if that is clear, then in that, what are the things has to be included? So site plan, so always in the corner, north and always it will be mentioned, and the boundaries and the position of the roads has also been mentioned. Then the layout plan, so plan showing the proposed building structure, etc., showing their locations, size, and orientations. The road, drains, pipelines, electrical lines are shown. The boundary, main approach to the roads, adjoining area to also be indicated. An index plan. Plan is usually drawn for the roads, irrigations, water supply, etc. So it shows the alignment with positions um, of culverts, main outline of whole work to be given um, for execution of any of the project's work. For big projects, it is drawn with much small scale and is known as the key plan for the index propositions. Then it is very important that uh, so most of the time, mm, commonly we'll use the layout or the drawing. Sometimes you will use it. There you have to show all the things, but it has its own specific meanings. Whenever the large project works, if you are executing, so better uh, to use uh, a proper word for each of the items. Commonly we'll use it, but it is better to follow what are the things will be there. Normally site means it is like a rough sketch. So layout means uh, it is like almost all the things has to be mentioned. For example, uh, um, if you are preparing layouts and if you are creating um, um, any of the apartments, so in each of and numbers will be mentioned in each of the layout. But site plan, of course, um, it is like a rough sketch. In layout plan, almost all the things has to be mentioned. Index plan, it is normally used it for the big projects. Um, Normally we'll use it layout and site plan, but for index plan is used for most of the uh, big apartments like that. We will use it. So then we'll straight away will work out this problem. Of course, we have many methods are there to do the quantity estimation. So the first one, that is related to an the long wall method. Then we have the short wall method and the center line method. So normally whenever you are calculating the uh, quantities using long wall method, short wall method, and center line method, so first the things has to be observed carefully. So first one, that is the things which are required is that first one, before applying this long wall method, short wall method, and see why I'm not explaining all these methods, that you already learned this in your 8th semester or 7th semester. So we'll directly, if you solve the problems, we'll come to know how exactly it can be calculated. So before that, what are the things has to be required? First one, the plan. The second one, elevations. Then the sections. This sections. Now, normally uh, in long wall method, what you have to do is that outer to outer, you have to consider it. Means from here to here, if it is see in this, you can see this is the plan. So this is section on. So you can in this plan, you can see this is one section along AB, and this is one section along CD. Then this is the section given along CD, and this is the section along AB, whatever this section is along AB. So here in this first, what are the things are given? Just note it down first. The plan is given. The plan inner to inner, how much they have given? See, long. We'll discuss long wall method and short wall method in within 1 or 2 minutes. But before that, you observe the dimensions first. See in this, from here to here, you can see this is the long wall. That is 5 meters is a long wall, and 4 meter is your short wall. So then here you can see the dimensions are from inner to inner. They have given the dimensions, that is 5 by 4. So 5 is a long wall and 4 is inner to inner, and the thickness of the wall he has given, that is 30 centimeters. This is 30 centimeters. Same you can observe here in the what is then in the section. Here also you can see this is what the 30 centimeter thickness. Then first, center to center, how much it is going to come, calculate it first. Then here, this is inner to inner is 5 meter, and center to center if you consider it. So here 15 centimeter, and here it is 15 centimeter. So then inner to inner, that is how much it will be there. It will be always 5.5 meter inner to inner for the long walls. So how many long walls are there? The long walls according to this plans, so it will be 2, and short walls it will be 2. So then 5 meter inner to inner, plus here center to center 15 centimeter, plus on this side downside and 15 centimeter, that is upper side. So total it will be 30 centimeter. Then I can write it as 5.3. This is center to center length of the long walls. Center to center length of long walls, that is equal to 5.3 meters. Then center to center length of the short walls. This is the first one, center to center length, center to center length, that is equal to 4 meter, that is inside to inside it is there. Then plus of center to center length of, here also thickness, the wall thickness on the along the AB section also it is the same. The wall thickness surrounding it is same, that is 30 centimeters. It is not differentiated. Be careful about this. Last time it has happened that See, for the long walls thickness, he has given 30 centimeters, and other side he has given the only 20 centimeters. So the same plan he has given, but he has changed the thickness. In that case, you should be very careful. So then here also it is 0.5, that is 15 centimeter plus 15 centimeter. And total it will be 4.3 centimeters. So then using the long wall methods and short wall methods, so for the calculations, whenever you are considering, what you have to do is that, especially the long walls, we already, and one more we will see that. Before going to that, how many starting from the excavation till to the walls area, how many items are there, that we have to see it. So this is what here we can see that. So at the base they have excavated, so the excavation is up to the ground level. You can see here they have written ground level. This is very important. Up to here you can see, up to here it is the ground level, very important. For calculation this is also very important. So then what exactly the plinth area, how exactly can be calculated, that also you have to see it. So here they have given, so here it is the concrete work. Then up to 30 centimeter they have placed the concrete, then above that they have placed 60 centimeters of the brickwork, small brick or stone works. Then again 50 centimeters of the stone works. Then again a stone or brickwork till plinth area, that is 60 centimeters. That is the height. So this includes the height, very important. This whatever it is there, this will be your height, and this will be along this will be your breadth, along this direction breadth. Here also you can see this will be the breadth, and this will be your height. Will be your height. See, whenever if you are considering the long walls, so calculating the long walls, first calculate the center to center length long walls. If you are calculating, this is the things you have to remember for long wall methods. Whenever you are calculating center to center length, if you remember this, there will not be any problem. Center to center length, whenever you are calculating it, so plus one breadth you have to add it. Actually, each of the items you have to add one breadth. And for short walls, center to center length minus one breadth, to deduct it. So this is what the formula you have to remember. Of course, here it will be this breadth. The formula is like half of the breadth on the other side, half of the breadth on the other side. So normally we'll add it. Whenever you're deducting it, half of the breadth on the left side, half of the breadth on the other side. So then first, which are the items are there? I already said that earthwork is there, concrete is there. Then you have a brickwork, foundation and the plinth, and a brickwork in the superstructure. So then, of course, these are the particular items that you have to include in all this doing the calculation of the quantities. First one, that is the whenever you're calculating the long walls, So he has given the length as 6.2 meters. So how he has calculated the long wall length? So here for the length, you can see it is 6.2. So center to center length calculation is there. Then he has added the breadth. How much is the breadth will be there? In the you can see the breadth is for the excavation. Here it is 90 centimeter. This one. This is the breadth. You have to use it 90 centimeters. So in that case, what will happen is that center to center length plus one breadth. The breadth will be 90 centimeters. So then next breadth is 90 centimeters. Even height, if you check height or the depth of excavation 90 meters, how exactly this 90 meter has come? Just we'll look into the plan. The 90-meter excavation is till ground level. Till ground level, how much it is there? 30 centimeter plus 30 centimeter plus 30 centimeter. So here you can see that this section, this section, this section, it all you have to add it. So this will become, you have 90 centimeter. So that will be along the height. Then for short walls, breadth, length, if you see, it is coming as 3.4 meters. How it is coming? I already said that the center to center length minus the breadth has to be deducted. This, you remember this. When you are calculating, remember this. This is about then, of course, you convert this into meter cube. So that is L is in meters, breadth is in meters, and height is also in meters. Then you calculate this in terms of meter cube. I already said that all the things, even in your examination, you have to calculate it in meter cube only. So then length, breadth we have calculated. This is up to excavation. Then concrete in foundation. See foundation, I already said that I have shown, that is concrete, how much concrete we have placed here. Dotted lines in the figure, you can see that this section they have made it in dotted lines. They have made it in dotted lines. This is nothing but the concrete. So then how much breadth it is there? So 90 centimeter breadth it is there, and height of 30 centimeters. So then the same thing you can use it here. See, length, it will be same. You can see that is 6.2. Directly you can take it. You already calculated that. Then short walls calculated. So breadth, it is 90 centimeters. If you take that, if you separately take it out and if you calculate it, so it will be height, how much it is there? 30 centimeter. So breadth, how much it will be there? It will be 90 centimeters. That they have taken it. Then totally multiply it, so you will get it in cubic meter. So then we'll move ahead with the brickwork in foundation and the plinth. So above the concrete work, if you separate it out, that's the sections like that, it is there, and above you have one more is there, above you have, so like this it is there. So this is the concrete work he has given, so 30 centimeters. So then here also it is how much he has given, height of 30, height of 30. So that he has given. If you go back and if you take it out, and if you see that section, you will come to know. Then breadth, how much he has given? 60 and 50. So breadth it is, here it is 60 and here it is 50. Here it is, you have ground level. This has to be added. So brickwork, this whatever it is there, to write it as the brickwork. So then the for the first footing, that is very important, this one. What I said is that here it has come as 5.9 meters. How it has come? See, for this breadth is how much? Here it is, breadth is 60 centimeters. Here breadth is how much? It is 50 centimeters. This has breadth for the first footing, and this is the breadth for second footing. So why it has come 5 point? So according to our the method of formulation, so center to center line length plus 1 breadth you have to add for the long walls. Short walls you have to deduct it. That's it. So 5.9, how it has come? 5.9, this much. Breadth, you have to add it. Then the breadth is this much, height 30 centimeter. So calculate cubic feet. In second footing, how many numbers of walls are there? Very important. 2 are there. In 2 always it will come on the other opposite side also. So 2 again. Then plinth wall. If you see the plinth wall, in the plinth wall, how much it is there? This is your plinth wall. You can see the section here. Plinth wall. So here I can see the plinth wall. This is what your plinth wall, that is 40 centimeter is your breadth, and height is 60 centimeter. That same you can apply here. So as breadth is 40 centimeter, height is 60. So then multiply it, you get it same. For short walls, we follow the same procedure. Same thing, only you have to deduct it. What we did is, for short wall, you have to deduct the breadth, and for long walls, you add the breadth. That thing you have to remember. Then you have superstructure is there. Superstructure, brickwork and superstructure, that is long walls, number of 2. So why it has come as a 5.6 meter? Because the thickness itself is, breadth is only 30 centimeter. The thickness of this one is only 30 centimeters. That you have to add it. For short walls, center to center length minus the breadth you have to deduct it. The total cubic meter 20.16. Add all the things, so you'll get it 20.16. So this is the simplest problem. Like that, what you have to do is that for all the things you have to calculate it. But in this plan, he has not mentioned actually the windows and all those things, doors, and whenever the things are going to complicate, when the doors and windows have been included in the walls, that area you have to deduct it. Always that you have to remember. Maybe we'll try to solve some more problems in the next class, or give you a homework and in next class.